Night live feed, Friday Night Live. What's on the bench? Just allow me a few moments to set my gear up, as I usually do. I'll give you guys a few moments to join in. Jordan, you're already here. How'd I guess? How'd I know that you'd be here? Hey Jack. Hey Marlon. Alright. I want to talk about mag priming, because it's something that people don't get, and I don't really understand why they don't get. While I'm here talking about mag priming, here's a charging handle. This is an aluminium ambidextrous charging handle. Just want to bring this to your attention. I'm sure you've seen them. They're not new. Just want to bring this to your attention. I'm sure you've seen them. They're not new. But it's cool because, like, quite often with the normal charging handle, you got to pull this side to open the catch, and then if you can pull both, that opens it up as well. But if you're left-handed or something and you want to pull this side, it usually doesn't do anything, but this one actually opens it up. It's ambidextrous. That's cool. A thing worth noting, let me get some lights in here. Lights, camera, action. Alright. Is that good? What about here? Oh, that's nice. It really gets the mood going. 14 people already, and I've only just started. Alright. So this is something I want to talk about. This is I think it's a Gen 8 charging handle. It's pretty generic. What I've got here, if you've been eagle-eyed in the background, is a Gen 9 upper receiver. You're familiar with the Gen 9s. I want to put this charging handle on the Gen 9, and I wasn't sure if it was going to go, and it kind of will, but kind of won't. So, oh, that screw launched. So here's the charging handle, the plastic or nylon one that it comes with, versus the aluminium one. And the first thing you'll probably see is this piece here, the piece that actually, why is this not focusing? The piece that actually opens the ejection port is actually just like a little plastic piece that screws on. So when I bought this, I was thinking, oh geez, that can't open the ejection port, but you can actually swap that onto that, which is kind of cool. So that probably will work. It looks like it's all got the same shape and everything to work, but here's the kicker. See here, this piece is square, and this one has a little ramp. And that's kind of cool. And you know why that's kind of cool? Because the Gen 9 gearbox. Gen 9 gearbox looks like that. There's a lower receiver. So yeah, there's a Gen 9 gearbox. Looks kind of very similar to a Friday. Gotta go work on RX3. Awesome. What have you got in your RX3? 13B turbo? I'll wait for the answer. Anyway, so it's not quite a version 2 airsoft. It's sort of somewhere between a version 2 airsoft and a Gen 8. But the cool thing, well, at least for me, the coolest thing is this. That is something you will not see on any other airsoft gearbox or AEG style thing. That little thing there. And there's a reason for that. It's because airsoft don't use, yeah, it looks very similar to the wells, but it's not. It's just different enough. Trust me, it is just different enough. It's very, very similar though. I don't know how I feel about Gen 9 and wells, because I really like Gen 8 in the fact that everything's self-contained and you can SIG 13V turbo, awesome. You can basically put it into anything. You can put it into a cardboard box and it will still work. Whereas the Gen 9 and the wells, it has to go into a receiver, because the upper receiver, this piece in here is what actually holds the T-piece in place. And the T-piece is not your standard T-piece. So your standard T-piece would, be something like this, and it would go in there and whatever. Your Gen 8 box would have a bit on the front here, which would hold that in there. And then, because as you see, there's nothing there at the front. There's nothing there to hold it on. It's actually held in by the upper receiver. That's what holds the tube in. So you really need the receiver to hold everything together. And that kind of annoys me, because I like chucking boxes into weird things. So, I mean, this is good. I'm sure this is going to be a great box in this receiver. But if I want to like throw it into a halo gun or something like that, it's not going to fit. Same here with the motor. You need the handle to attach the motor, because it bolts into the handle. Anyway, I digress. This thing here. Now, Airsoft, basically, you may notice Airsoft AEG gearboxes don't have mag terminals, because they don't need them, because they don't have a motor which pushes BBs into the chamber. The Airsoft just has a spring. It's just a spring that just pushes BBs up. And even on the high cap ones, you just got a spring you got to like wank on to get to pull the BBs up. I got this here. So, all right, this is a bit of wiring out of Sunblaster. This is the switch which primes the mag. So in the circuit, and there's the diode, and there's the trigger switch, and I'm going to get into all of this because this is what I want to make this video about, because a lot of people keep asking me how it works. So this here, I'm going to say this little cutaway here has been designed somewhat intentionally and specifically for this little switch to fit inside there. And like, I don't know how it goes in there just yet, because I think I have to like actually take it apart to get it in there, but it does, like, you can see the dimensions of that hole and the little spots for the wires to come out and everything. This switch is designed, or this box is designed to have that switch in it. And there's your mag priming switch, which brings me to the ramp in this. If this is your charging handle running across the top of your gearbox like that, then your switch is going to live in here, and that ramp is going to push that switch in. You can hear it pushing. So that means the Gen 9 and the Gen 8, for what it's worth, is designed to have an operational charging handle in the circuit, even though it doesn't. It's designed to have it. But I digress. I think that's kind of cool. That's something that if you buy a Wells gearbox or some other gearbox, it's not going to have that. And you can chuck a mag prime into the Wells if you try hard enough, but I like the idea of using the charging handle to prime it, because that's what the charging handle is there for. Fillet wells in Gen 9 are supposed to follow airsoft designs. Kinda. I mean, they can't 100% follow airsoft design because like airsoft don't have these. But like the general way they work is very similar to AEG and airsoft. I mean, you can pretty much all the gears and stuff from Gen 8 onwards are airsoft gears. The tappets are pretty much the same. The plungers are pretty much the same. Cylinder on a Gen 8 is longer than wells, which is supposed to be designed off a version 2 airsoft, for what it's worth. Yeah, so they're different. Love the channel. Keep up the music. Thank you. Has a man. So is the Gen 9 ported? No. No, it is not. And I don't know if you watched my vector video, you'll know I measured the volume of this, and I worked it out that the actual efficient volume for a barrel is it's a lot larger than the factory barrel. I think the factory barrel is 27 centimeters, and I think the efficiently, I think you're looking around 40 something centimeters of barrel to get efficiency out of that. And here's a random little thing for you as well. I didn't know this. Harris bipods, they do that. How cool is that? I didn't even know that was a thing. Until I pressed the release on one of my bipod legs and it flew out. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this. Let's get this gearbox out of the way. Receiver out of the way. That one can stay there because I've got nowhere for it to go. That charging handle can probably stay. Alright, so this. So many people are so confused about this thing. Everyone keeps hitting me up because I do the modifications where I chuck the mag priming circuit into the M4 and the UMP45 and that sort of thing. And people are like messaging me going, I put it in, but like both motors still run and this, that, and I can't seem to work it out. This, I mean, if you want to look at it in its wire form, so you've got the positive of the battery goes directly to the motor. That would usually be on the motor. And then the negative of the battery goes to the switch. Now, so that's the negative. Now, once this gets here, it changes to black for some reason and goes to the mag terminal. That is the positive mag terminal, despite the fact that they've used a black wire, which is going against any sort of standards that I've ever heard of. But yeah, that is the positive terminal of the mag, connected to the positive of the battery and connected to the positive of the motor directly. Now, when you pull the trigger, the positive is connected directly to the motor already. Your negative of your battery comes to the trigger switch, and when you pull the trigger, it allows it to flow through this wire, which is now red, which goes to the negative of the motor, despite it being red. Sorry, not Japanese. That's offensive. Chinese manufacturers apparently don't have any consistency in the coloring of their wires and these things either, because I've had red ones, I've had black ones, I've had whatever wire they use on the day is what color it is. So you just got to follow the wires to make it right. Yeah, so that's your circuit. And I'm going to draw a diagram of this in a minute because it's probably a bit confusing. Now, your mag priming circuit is here. Now you can see the switch is going from one end of the mag terminal, which is the negative end, through the switch to the negative of the battery. So when you pull this switch or push this switch, that allows the negative to go to this terminal And your positive terminal, which is black, which is already constantly connected to your battery, will then allow a motor to turn in the mag. So you get your current flowing, conventional current, positive into the mag, to the motor, out of the mag, through the switch, and then to the negative of the battery. Now, the reason that there is a diode there is because if you were to pull this without the diode, it would not only earth this terminal, it would also earth this, which is going to the motor, the negative of the motor. So if you earth the negative in the motor, that will also turn. So you'll press this button and it will be literally no different from pressing this button. You'll fire and you'll get both motors, both mag and main blaster motor spinning at the same time. So you need this diode in to stop the negative getting to this switch terminal so that this motor can get out. But you still want, when you fire the gun or the blaster, the negative to be able to connect to this switch for the mag, so that the mag will spin. Right, I'm going to draw a diagram that's going to make it so much simpler. All right. Can you see this? Not really. Let me get something thicker. Full alloy body on a Gen 9 assembly tonight. Oh, sweet. I would do it, but I don't have the stock, I'm afraid. I'm just waiting on the stock. Alright, I can't find any bigger markers, so I'm just going to have to go with this. Alright. How many volt and diode should you use? The one that comes stock is for what it's worth, a 1N5408. But I don't think that one that is that large is even necessary. I use a smaller one. It's just like a 1 amp one or something like that. 1 amp, I can't remember. It doesn't have to be that big, I don't think. I just use, I don't know. I did put down in my video the size I use. I just go down to JCar and buy whatever diode they have. Alright, so this is a battery. This is the battery. This is the most simple circuit you'll ever see. Alright, so this is, this is going to be the motor. That's the main blaster motor, so it's a big motor. And this is the trigger switch. And then that is the negative. So that's your main circuit of the main motor. So when you pull this trigger, current flows. It's the most simple, the first most simple circuit there is that you can get in electronics. In our case, we have a second motor in parallel. I'll make it smaller. That's the mag priming motor. So that runs in parallel. And then it comes across here. I'm just going to, no, fuck it, I'll draw the whole line. Comes across there like that. So it runs in parallel with that motor. So when you pull this trigger, when you pull that switch, current flows through both these motors to the negative. And that's the normal setup. Now, what you want to do is you want to allow this motor to spin without that motor spinning. So you put another switch in here, and that's going to allow current to flow down here to ground that way. However, when you pull that switch, you'll also allow current to flow down through the main motor through here and to ground that way. We'll call this ground. All right. So if you do this, you pull your mag priming switch, the gun's going to fire. So what you do is you put the diode in here. Now the symbol for diode is quite interesting because it looks a bit like this. That's what a diode looks like. Now if you put your finger over that half of it, it looks like an arrow. Can you guys see this, or is this, see that? All right. So put your finger, it looks like an arrow going that way. If you put your finger over the other half, it looks like a wall. So basically what happens is when you put the diode there, in between the negative mag priming terminal, so these would be your mag priming, the terminals, by the way, for your mag. This is this one, and this is that one. You with me? And then that's the diode to that switch. Anyway, so there your terminals where they would go. Okay, so you put your diode in there. What happens when you close this switch? The current flows through this motor and down here to ground. It also flows through this motor and comes to this diode, and the arrow is pointing that way. So it's like, yep, I can go through there and down to ground. This switch is still open. It doesn't have to be closed because it can find path to ground here. It's the third most simple electronic circuit. So what happens if you pull this switch? You pull this switch on, this motor has a path to ground, and it goes, yep, I can spin, priming your mag. Can the current come down here through this motor and go this way? No, it can't, because it hits this wall. Because this way is the arrow and this way is the wall. So no current can flow down that way, and no current can flow down that way because this switch is open. So current can flow through here and only prime the mag. So that is the circuit. It is super simple. It's the third most easy circuit in electronics, and that's what it looks like on paper, and this is what it looks like in wires. It's a little bit more complicated in wires, but basically the diode has to go here. It has to go from the negative mag terminal to before the switch on the trigger, to before this switch. So it has to go from the terminal to the switch, and it's the side of the switch that the motor's on. So this is where the motor connects to the switch, and that's where the diode switch. And see that silver band on the diode? That silver band is that wall. So basically, if current's coming through here and hits the silver band, that's the wall. If it comes through here, it's like, yep, sweet, no problems, I can pass. All right, so that's how that works. And if you are doing it any other way, and you're getting both motors spinning or whatever, then you've done it wrong. You got to pull it apart, do it again. This is how it's got to be done. Yeah, so if you hook this up any other way than this, it just won't work. Like if you put your diode here, it's not going to work. If you put your diode, it's not going to work. This is how it's got to be done. Has to be that way. All right, have we put that to bed now? Can we just forget about that? Awesome. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that one to bed. I don't have a lot of stuff to do here tonight other than potentially shimming up another Gen 8 gearbox, and I know you guys don't want to see that again. I tell you what, I will get you guys to look at. Got this Halo blaster here. And this is how it looks. This piece in the top here is the standard mag. This piece down here is a mag, but it's not actually a functional one. And this is the Gen 8 gearbox that will live in here somehow. Now I was looking at this, and this will actually fit in here, yeah, reasonably well, because you've got this, like, there's going to be a bit of Dremel work involved here, but this will fit in here pretty well. The only issue that I've got is the mag. Where am I going to see? The balls have got to feed in here to fire. Now, I can flip this potentially and have the tube pointing down this way. I can't flip the whole gearbox, but I can flip the T piece and make the T come out the bottom. But that doesn't really help me feeding down here. And if I wanted to feed from the original mag, which was the goal, I guess, the feeding tube is going to be so long, it's going to have to go all the way up here, and along here. It's going to be, I mean, it's not impossible. It's possible, but it's just going to be so long. And this mag is so small, you're going to actually empty the mag just in the feeding tube before you even get to fire or anything. And I hate to say it, but probably the best result would be to turn this into a drum mag. And I know I've done that to death. Well, maybe not to death, but I've done it more times than is necessary. Yeah. No one has actually filled me in. What's the major changes with the new Gen 9 gearboxes? I'll let you in on the major secret. Nothing. Nothing's changed. Like, no, things have changed. No, I lie. No, things have changed. So, with the Gen 9 gearbox, here's what's changed, right? It's got a semi and full auto select fire switch. That's pretty much it. So the gears are the same, the tappet's the same, the plunger's the same, the cylinder's the same, the nozzle's the same, although you can't put a T-piece in the end of it anymore because it's going with the AEG style bizzo. The trigger contacts, they've gone with the AEG trigger contacts, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but everyone wants MOSFETs these days, so get your metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor on. Yeah, so like, and then this goes in the AEG, the AEG style handle, the motor goes in here and goes in the grips. Although the problem I have is they haven't used a standard screw hole pattern in the handle. Look at that. They've used this weird like 4-hole pattern, which is weird. And it's like not only is it 4 holes, it's 4 holes with 2 different thread sizes. So you got 2 big ones and then 2 little ones. And why would they even manufacture something that way? And it doesn't look like it's centered. Like it's a bit weird. I'm not sure what's up with that, and that's annoying because AEG grips that I like to use, I thought would be a direct bolt on, but it looks like I'm going to have to modify them again. At least not as much. At least not as much as my Mark 12. I have to modify the hell out of that thing to get that to work. No, why is Graham saying no? Sorry, vector 2 on a vector 2. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with the chat, guys. I can't. It's hard for me to actually see what's going on and read the chat and do what I'm doing, whatever that is. Big Gen 9 shipment finally passed Queensland Customs today. They'll be gone by tomorrow. Yeah, look, I love the Gen 9. You know what my major gripe with the Gen 9 is the fact that I've had it for so long sitting in this box like this because I can't do anything with it because it all uses proprietary parts that I don't have. if it had Gen 8 T-pieces and Gen 8 barrels and Gen 8 magazines, it doesn't even take a Gen 8 magazine anymore. That's so annoying. Look at this. Oh. I reckon I'm gonna modify it to take it, because I reckon it'll take it. Like if I could get that magazine to sit up in there, I reckon the contacts look like they're gonna be in the right spot. The contacts look like they're gonna be in the right spot. See, they've got these contacts here, and this piece here, which sticks out, which is cool because when that piece contacts that button, it actually pushes that button in. So it looks like they've made it with design considerations to fit the Gen 8 mags, but they just don't physically fit in the receiver. Like this piece here is too tight. You can see that's thinner than this here. For what it's worth, the Wells M4 mag, fits straight into the receiver perfectly. However, the contacts and the T-piece don't line up at all. You see that? The two contacts are real close together here, and the contacts on this is like not. It's like way far forward. And the T-piece again doesn't line up. So the Wells mag doesn't fit it. The Gen 8 mag doesn't fit it. And I don't have any Gen 9 mags. So again, I'm waiting for shipment of Gen 9 mags. I just ordered like 50 Gen 8 mags, so that's kind of annoying. Yeah, so like I reckon I'm going to modify this receiver and get it to fit a Gen 8 mag. I'm going to have to. I reckon it's possible, but again, because I don't have the Gen 9 T-piece, I have to wait for shipping for Gen 9 T-piece to arrive before I can put that together. So I've had this thing for ages and I just can't put it together because I'm waiting on parts. Story of my life, right? Gen 8, just buy a Gen 8, guys. I don't think there's that much, unless you really want select fire. I don't think there's that much advance in the Gen 9 to warrant actually buying one. Like, other than the fact that they're kind of cool. I hope they continue to make the Gen 8. That's all I'm going to say, because it would be a mad shame, because there's so many Gen 8 parts on shelves and on the market everywhere that it would be a shame. It'd be a shame to go Gen 9 and then have everyone have to go out and buy more mags and different mags because they don't fit the Gen 9 anymore. So like, I don't know. I like it and I don't. Hi. Bye. So, where were we? Gen 9 shipments, just bought a Gen 8. Yeah, don't be worried. Gen 8's good. Gen 8's still got its place. I think, especially for modding, if we're going to be modding other blasters to fit things, the Gen 9 gearbox just won't fit. You just won't be able to put a Gen 9 gearbox into anything other than a Gen 9 or a Gen 9 compatible receiver. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything cool like this. You have to have a Gen 8 for that. Your vector build, did you think the 1.2 spring was all it could take comfortably? No. I think it could probably handle more. Look, I've put 1.4mm springs into standard Gen 8 boxes, and they're fine. Like, I don't know why people are all like, okay. If you take a look at this, you will notice there's a problem with the sector gear there. That's the third one of them I've seen split in half like that. It's really weird though. It's I've had Gen 8 boxes that are stock that just last for ages and ages on massive springs, and some just break. So it's kind of hit and miss. Like, I like upgrades and everything. I like making everything stronger, but like, you do one thing and you got to step up to the next thing, and then you got to step up to the next thing. So like, if you put metal gears in here, you have to put a metal ladder geared plunger in there, because otherwise it's just going to tear your plunger apart. And like, I mean, you're gonna upgrade everything to the point where sooner or later this plastic gearbox is just going to smash apart. And I don't know, like, I think personally, I mean, I do like building the full-on balls out, like nylon receivers with metal gears and crazy plungers and all that sort of stuff. I like it, but the thing is, I think a lot of people spend a lot of money when they don't have to. Like, I know people who've just gone, oh, I just bought this $200 nylon gearbox with all this stuff and da 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 da, and then it's just like running a fairly soft spring, and it's just like, okay, cool. Why did you buy that? Oh, because upgrades. Whereas I've taken a standard box, like I got a standard box pushing 280 FPS all day every day on an 11-volt LiPo. It just runs bloody ridiculous fire rate all day every day, and I skirmish with it and I throw it around and crawl through the dirt with it, and it's never skipped a beat. It's never broken gear. It's running the standard nylon gears. It's running the standard, like, everything has just got a crazy upgraded, well, not crazy, but an upgraded spring enough to get it 280 FPS, and there's no problems with that. Like, it's doing that all day every day, and I don't see the need to go with metal gears. But then, hey, like, just on a side note, if anyone's been following this thing, I know I was supposed to sort of do a build video of when I put the motor in this, but I just couldn't help but put it in, and I haven't had time to film the video of it, and I will, but guys, if you are not familiar with this thing, it's pushing out 360 FPS, although with the fire rate that it's cranking at right now, and with the Milkies, so I'm running Milkies on this, and it's pushing, I think, 330 FPS with Milkies. And man, guys, how's the carbon fiber going? The carbon fiber is still strong in there. Look at it. It's beautiful. I only put that in because someone told me that the housing would crack. But guys, are you ready for this? I'm scared. I'm scared to pull the trigger, guys. All right, we're in auto. That is 40 rounds per second. Oh man, it's mental. This thing is something else. 40 rounds per second at 360 FPS. Holy shit is right. It's like, the compression on this thing is ridiculous too. It's like to the point where it's almost hurting my ears. Gonna need that drum mag. I wonder what the spread is and how long the shell will last. I don't know the answers to these questions yet, because it's still together. It's still together. I have taken it out to the 20-meter range, and it's acceptable. It's a acceptable accuracy. You know what the only problem is, for what it's worth? See this pin here? If you were eagle-eyed in my video where I put the drum mag in this thing, you may have noticed this pin was was sticking out like that. It's actually supposed to push through like that, and that's what holds the upper and the lower receiver together. Hey, thanks, Josh. Yeah, that pin. Did you see it was backed out? That pin. Like, I don't know how to keep that pin in. I don't know how to keep that pin, because like as soon as you unleash this thing at full auto, that pin it backs that pin out. It backs that pin out by itself. It's just like brrr, you fire a few rounds and then you got to push the pin back in, then brrr, push the pin back in. I don't know what to do about that. It just keeps wanting to back out. Duct tape would probably work. All right. Did you guys have a opinion on this thing here? Was drum mag the go? What did Marlon say? Drum mag? We're gonna drum mag this thing? I honestly can't think of any other solution. With drum mag and then a really long feeder tube. Because it's not going to feed underneath it, and I don't want to have to use the standard gravity feed's just not going to work. For what it's worth, this gearbox is a new P90 gearbox. If you say someone was telling me they got a new P90 and it was awesome or something and quality build and that sort of, I haven't actually had the actual blaster in my hands, but I've got the gearbox because, yeah, reasons. So what do you say? Unless it could fit normal Gen 8 mags. Well, no, what I was actually thinking of doing was grafting see, it's not going to work. I was thinking I could graft the drum mag onto the bottom of this and still have it eject with the regular thing, but this doesn't have terminals, so I'd have to like make terminals, and there's no tube here either. I'd have to like make a feeder tube. It seems like odds are stacked against me on this one, getting it to mag feed properly like this. I might just have to actually do what I did with the PDR and just have a drum mag like permanently mounted up in there. Like get one like in there like that, just permanently mounted up in there. And then, because then you don't have to worry about having terminals and a tube that can come in and out. Because if it's like permanently there, you can just feed gels in through the back, and then it can feed up in there. You don't have to worry too much about how many balls are going to be in the feed tube, because you've got so much capacity in this drum that it doesn't really matter if it takes a while to feed. The only problem is that you can't possibly fire them all out. So when you're finished shooting the blaster, there's no way of clearing it, which is kind of annoying, because if you leave it on the shelf for a while, the balls dehydrate. Although apparently not so much of a problem up north because you're more humid. I'm in the desert. You could probably point it to the ground and fire it until they all came out, I guess. So anyway, we've got the cheapo gold Autobot P90. Entire top rail has blowback all sides. Yeah, I've seen that P90 with the entire top rail blowing back. That's kind of, yeah, that's a weird thing to do, seeing as the P90 would never have that anyway. But you know, whatever. Some people are into that sort of thing. It's just a motor that runs that thing back and forth. I'm out of stuff to talk about here, guys, and like I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do any more builds tonight because I'm probably gonna have to knock off in about 15 minutes because I gotta have an early night because I got stuff to do tomorrow. But shove an 11 volt in it. Shove it in what? M4A1. Got yourself an M4A1 Gen 8. You're wondering what you should upgrade first. Green O-ring. Oh, you've already put an O-ring in it? Just do the spring. Upgrade the spring, but I was told I would have upgrade. No, just put a spring in it, mate. Like, have you watched my spring video? There's a lot of people, like, yeah, just put a spring in it, mate. Put like, let us hear the wells one more time. Alright, I guess. Play with cars. You want to play with my car? Shout outs to Dave. Alright, Dave, do you want to hear the well one more time? I will give it one more burst. I just have to get it off the wall. And also find a battery that's charged enough to actually run it. Alright, here we go. One more burst of the wells. You ready? Where's Dave? Is Dave on, or is he like watching from your place? Someone said in the last couple of feeds, Blaster Yoda. Oh dear. All right. Watch that pin. Watch that pin. All right, here we go. All right. All right, that'll do. Look. It's already started to back out. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. All right. 40 rounds per second. Second best blaster channel on the internet. Oh, and guys, where the hell are your subscribes? I know all you guys are subscribed. I know all 21 of you guys are subscribed because you guys are legends. But if you haven't subscribed, subscribe already because like, well, I think I'm close to 2,000. I think I 1,800 something subscribers, close to 2,000. Maybe I'll do something special when I get to 2,000. I don't know what. Maybe something. All right, so I think, like I said, I think I'm gonna have to bend this one 90, and I'm gonna have to run the tube down here, and then it's gonna have to have a drum mag. It's the only way it's gonna happen. Yeah, you know what? Oh yeah, buy me a coffee, cause that's good. For what it's worth, I am gonna I'm gonna do something special for my coffee buyers. I don't know what yet. I was actually gonna like upload some special content for my coffee buyers. I don't know what I'll do yet, but I will do something. Just gotta think of something that's worth doing, I guess. Yeah. Oh, there you go. 1969. That was a good year. Put a man on the moon. Is that right? 1969. Sounds about right. All right. Where are we? I think I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys. You have a suggestion? Yeah, hit me with a suggestion. Oh look, I found a bullet marker after all that. Oh, you saw the pencil diagram anyway. Link your Facebook with the YouTube videos. People have questions, I don't know. Yeah, dude, have you looked up ACT Gel Blasters on Facebook? Because that's me. I know I get a lot of people messaging me on Guido's Chop Shop, which is also a Facebook page that I have, which is also me. So that makes sense that people would message me on that. But Guido's Chop Shop, the whole thing about the Chop Shop. It was a thing about cars that me and my mates sort of did, and working on cars and stuff, and that's why it's called that. But yeah, the ACT Gel Blasters is my page for Gel Blaster content. The Guido's Chop Shop page has just got some car stuff and things, not all that much interesting. But yeah, I do like put all my videos and photos and stuff on Facebook, and I do sometimes sell some stuff on that Facebook page as well. So yeah, just mention your page in your videos. Well, I just did. If you've spent the what is it, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, however long, 51 minutes and 3 seconds to get this far. All right, I am gonna call it a night because I gotta get up early tomorrow. So thanks for joining in. And I got some, I got another. I'm gonna do another Gen 8 shimming video, and I'll do one that I'll actually edit up properly and get some proper footage on, so you guys can see it a bit better. The live stream one, I don't know, it's buried in there in the live stream, so a lot of people who are interested in finding the shim information won't be able to find it. So I'm going to do that, and that's going to be the nylon gearbox for my Project Scar, which is still on the bench there because it's been stalled because I've been waiting on gearbox parts to arrive. They arrived just the other day, so let's go on. What size spring would I recommend? You know that I measure springs differently to everyone else. So I recommend like an 11 centimeter Guido deflection scale. And if you can't work that out, which you can't because it's impossible because no one measures on that scale, probably about a 1.3 or a 1.2 or thereabouts. So yeah, the Scar will be the gearbox. I'm going to build the gearbox for the Scar. I've got all the parts for it. I'm going to video that. It won't be live though. It'll be a properly edited video when I have the time to do it. But it will be soon because I want to do it pretty bad. Plus, you probably already saw the Gen 9 in the beginning of this video that I poked around. That is a build that's happening as well. Yogi, I just yesterday had a really long chat with some parts manufacturers who are gonna manufacture me some sick barrels, potentially 7.2 millimeter stainless steel, and I will no doubt in a video give them some mad shout outs if indeed those barrels are as good as they claim. They haven't given me any like discounts or anything to shout them out, but if the barrels are good, I'm going to tell all you guys to go buy them. I'll let you know. I haven't received them yet, but I'll let you know. Anyway, leave it at that. Catch you all later. Thanks for tuning in. I love you all. Peace out from the second best Gel Blaster channel on the internet.